We all knew it was going to be quite an amazing moment to see Cristiano Ronaldo take the field for Manchester United in the Premier League for the first time in over 13 years. The script was already written, perhaps. United's social media activity suggested that everyone associated with the club was eager to see the legendary Portugal international do well. They must have known something that most of us didn't. So what was it? We'll tell you all about it in just a bit. Meanwhile, Jude Bellingham came of age following Borussia Dortmund's entertaining win over Bayer Leverkusen. The young Englishman tried something he has never done, and it's pretty interesting. Bayern Munich beat RB Leipzig in a Bundesliga encounter that was a very one-sided affair. Time to find out how it happened. We've got all this and more in today's episode, so why don't you go ahead and subscribe to our channel and make sure that you're always up to date on all the major stories that this amazing game has to offer. And that brings us to the sponsor of this video. Unless you want to miss out on your favourite team's games, you're going to need a VPN that can get you past all those annoying streaming geo restrictions. Can't access your favourite league? A VPN will allow you to stream content like football games or even Netflix shows that are not available in your country. Our favourite VPN provider is Private Internet Access. It changes your IP address and reroutes your internet traffic through an encrypted tunnel, hiding your online activity from your internet service provider and government censors. It's our favourite tool to stream football matches for free. It works with all major streaming services, so you have unrestricted access to all your favourite content anywhere in the world, and is available for all operating systems. Signing up is risk-free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Sign up right now to get 83% off, plus 2 free extra months. Go to www.privateinternetaccess.com/goalside to get it now, or simply press the link in the description. The clash between Bayern Munich and RB Leipzig had all the ingredients for a promising encounter. There were some great moments, goals, and lots of drama. The two teams were supposed to fight for the title, but at the end of the 90 minutes, it became clear which team will be left standing in the end. The clash was also the return of Julian Nagelsmann to a club where he flourished for so many years. The young tactician decided to go for a 4-2-3-1 formation with some familiar faces. Marcel Sabitzer, who spent 7 years at Leipzig, was on the bench, while Dayot Upamecano started in defence alongside Lucas Hernandez. It ended up being a 4-1 win for the reigning German champions, who are now in second place in the league standings, 2 points behind the current league leaders VfL Wolfsburg. Leipzig, meanwhile, are in a spot of bother and stuck in 10th place, with 3 defeats in 4 games. Jesse Marsch has only recently started life in the Bundesliga, but the American tactician will have to figure things out if he is to avoid becoming the first managerial casualty in German football this season. Borussia Dortmund managed to defeat the plucky Bayer Leverkusen 4-3 in a result that will help them stay in touch with their title credentials. Erling Haaland scored what has become a customary brace, but it was the England international Jude Bellingham who made the headlines in the 7-goal thriller. The BVB teenager had a novel celebration involving a cup of beer during his team's win in the entertaining encounter. Dortmund actually had to come back from behind 3 times in the game and then needed a penalty from Haaland to grab all 3 points. Bellingham has already admitted that he never had a beer and that he isn't a big fan of the beverage. As Haaland put his side in front, he ran over to the corner of the Bayarena to celebrate with Bellingham, chasing him like a madman. The two men received a rather hostile response from the home fans, who began to throw beer cups in their direction. Most of the cups landed on the turf, but Bellingham managed to catch one out of the air and decided to have a few sips of it. "Perfect day for my first beer, not a fan," he later joked on Twitter while sharing a sequence of the catch. The 18-year-old was taken off in the final minutes as Dortmund held on for a crucial win. However, not everyone was impressed by the youngster's antics, with the club's licensed player division director, Sebastian Kehl, scolding the teenager for his actions. "I told him not to do that," Kehl told Sky Sport Germany after the match. "I'll tell him again. The boys are of course charged. It was a heated atmosphere." It's nice that there are spectators here again, but it was very heated. There were a lot of decisions against us too. We're not too sure what's going on with Saul. A couple of years ago, he was one of the most wanted midfielders on the planet, and his ability on the ball and energy served as a prime example of a well-drilled Diego Simeone side. The Spaniard struggled for minutes at Atletico Madrid last season and is no longer the all-conquering player that he used to be. This is the reason why the Spanish Giants decided to loan him out to Chelsea, where he might be able to rediscover his lost mojo. The 26-year-old arrived in London without pre-season and is likely to take time in order to adjust to the Premier League. Thomas Tuchel decided to hand him his Chelsea debut against Aston Villa, but it turned out to be a gamble that could have been avoided. While the Blues did win the game 3-0, the Spaniard had a shocker and was hooked at half-time. And the German manager also admitted that Saul was not great on his debut, but also admitted that it was his responsibility to put his new signing in such a position. I had the feeling that he struggled. Tuchel told Sky Sports there were some big mistakes, passing mistakes, and he struggled with the intensity. You could see he isn't fully adapted. It's completely my responsibility. I had the feeling he could jump in for us and play at that level. I then thought it was maybe better to change him, but it doesn't change anything about how I see him. The head coach later added, "It's very hard. You can either do it or not do it. I told him before it was my responsibility if it does not work out for the matter of your life." He struggled a bit, created some half chances for Aston Villa. 12 years later, and Old Trafford is reunited with Cristiano Ronaldo. The Portuguese international arrived a little late in England, but that did not stop him from making his first appearance for the Red Devils and to play the whole 90 minutes of the 4-1 win over Newcastle United. The veteran started in the front line and ended up scoring 2 goals on his second United debut. To be honest, there was an air of inevitability in the air about Ronaldo. This is a player who lives for big moments. He's achieved pretty much everything there is to achieve in the game, from lifting the Champions League title multiple times, to winning the Ballon d'Or award, to breaking records that have stood for several decades, to doing something that even the great Eusebio failed to do for Portugal. Ronaldo has achieved everything. No matter what team you support, you have to admit that Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the greatest players in the game's history, and once he retires, the game will be all the poorer for it. However, if there were any notions that would suggest that his powers are waning, those were simply cast aside at Old Trafford on Saturday. His first goal was an instinctive finish that gave Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's team a lead after a laboured first-half performance. The second was a rather trademark finish. Luke Shaw made a surging run before providing an inch-perfect pass to Ronaldo, who received the ball, took a couple of touches, and thumped a strike between the opposition goalkeeper's legs. Ahead of the game, the atmosphere was akin to a testimonial. It felt as if Ronaldo's achievements were being celebrated at Old Trafford as thousands of fans flocked to see the prodigal son return to familiar surroundings. And you can forgive the club for being so eager to see one of their greatest ever players return. As the United manager said in his own words in the programme, "We're talking about someone who personally I regard to be the best player in the history of the game." The Warwick Road that leads towards Old Trafford was full of traders selling every piece of Ronaldo merch that you can imagine. They must have made a killing for sure. The player's number 7 shirt is high in demand and has already broken records. But then again, records are something that are meant to be broken, and Ronaldo is the gladiator who has been trusted with that. Newcastle United weren't bad either. On any other day, they could have come away with a point. However, that's the difference players like Ronaldo and Messi make. With them in your team, you know that 3 points are just around the corner, even if you're having a bad day. Paul Pogba continued his recent resurgence, providing 2 assists, which took his tally to 7 assists in 4 games. The Frenchman is coming into his own and will be crucial to his teammates going forward. In the second half, it was like a carnival type of atmosphere. Bruno Fernandes scored a great long-range goal, and even Jesse Lingard got one for himself. The United forward was just a kid when he was taught a few skills by Ronaldo and was now being congratulated by his idol in front of the United fans. Dreams do come true. Ronaldo mania is back in the Premier League and is here to stay for at least 2 more years. And there's a feeling that this is exactly what United need to finally end their long wait for an important piece of silverware.